show is not suitable for children, sensitive men, or insecure women. Can you trust somebody that doesn't take care of their kids?
I don't trust no man on earth that does not take care of their children.
What's the biggest red flag in a relationship?
Low effort and not being honest.
Most of the time, you would think that a bad financial mistake would be spending money on clothes or vacation or like spending money on women. My worst financial mistake was buying a home.
Like a king, give me my crown.
Game time. Game time. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
That blackout hour is upon us.
Absolutely.
Yes, shout out to everybody out there worldwide. Quick reminder, tomorrow, Thursday, we will be in Miami, Art Basel for the vibes. Ooh. We have an event, United Masters, ourselves called Earn Your Masters, sponsored by Ally. Shout out to Ally. We got Drink Chance going to be in the building. We got
going
to be in the building. It's going to be a bunch of networking, panels, performances. It's going to be a vibe, man. So you still got one day to RSVP if you want to attend from 4 to 11 tomorrow. Art Basel, Miami, Florida. Go to earnyourleisure.com and RSVP, and we'll see everybody there, man. Let me know what's happening in South Beach this weekend, man. Let's get it going.
Any recommendations for what it should go after they finish networking for the other networking? Hey, fellas, don't lose your relationship, listening to us, but shout out to those of you who brought both parties in on Thanksgiving. Well played, my boy.
Well played. Mm-hmm. Well played. And then also as a reminder, it was down to 13 spots on Monday. The big three. 3 spots left. Shout out to everybody that took advantage of the Market Mondays bundle.
Yes.
3 spots left. 1, 2, 3. Lifetime access to Stock Club. Lifetime access to EY University. The in-person mastermind, first ever in Atlanta, Georgia. Mm-hmm. On January 31st and February 1st, myself, Ian, Troy, and special guest XLE should be going over technology, artificial intelligence, all of that stuff. 2-day experience. And then the cherry on top, the lifetime access. And this is why we have to have limited amount. Lifetime access VIP to InvestFest. InvestFest 2025. We got some tricks up our sleeve per usual. Mm-hmm. There's 3 spots left. So if you're interested in getting that Black Friday bundle, go to Market Mondays with an S, marketmondaysdeal.com, marketmondaysdeal.com.
Yes,
sirski. All right. A lot to cover. I want to start with a conspiracy theory.
Okay. Oh,
we haven't had one of these in a while. Most people, when you ask who's the richest person in the world, they will say Elon Musk, $300 billion.
Yeah.
That's what's documented. Is Vladimir Putin the richest person in the world? Now, I'll give you some backstories for this, guys, if you don't know. So there's a thing in Russia called the oligarchs, which are pretty much the ruling class of billionaires in Russia. So what happened in Russia's a really interesting case study. During the Cold War, after the Cold War, they had very dire times economically, that the economy was in crisis. So one of the things that they did was, when they were, fully communist country, everything was owned by the government. The oil, all of the different industries was owned by the government. So what they did was, and this was actually a pretty brilliant idea on the business side, one of the richest people in the country at the time had an idea to loan the government money, and if they didn't pay the money back, then they would get pieces or whole chunks of the public partnerships. So they would loan $50 million. They couldn't pay it back. Now I own the oil company. I loan you $100 million. You can't pay it back. Now I own the railroads. And they defaulted on most of these loans. So these guys got super rich in a relatively short period of time. And then what they did, which was even more interesting, is that I think it was Gorbachev. But when they broke up government owning everything, they issued vouchers to every citizen
Yeah.
Every citizen got a voucher as far as now they were part owner in all of these different government run agencies. But most people was not intelligent enough to fully understand what the voucher was, or they were just hungry. They just needed to eat. So the rich guys saw the opportunity. So they was buying up all of these vouchers from the individual people, kind of like the 50 Cent thing where he said at InvestFest when he was buying them. So they brought up all these vouchers. So long story short, they were a lot of these, what they call the oligarchs, which is like the billionaire club. They got very rich because they privatized, which was once government agencies and entities, and they controlled that. And then when Vladimir Putin came, the rumor is like he kind of shook, because one of the first things that he did was to put the richest person in Russia in jail for 10 years. He set a precedent. And they said that he went to all of the oligarchs. This is the rumor, allegedly, part of it. He said, look, we're going to let you keep your wealth. We're going to let you, maintain, but we need 50%. Not the Russian government needs 50%. I need
give me 50.
I need 50%. So the rumor is that he owns 50% or a proportion of all of the richest people in Russia's businesses, but that's never been documented. That's not something that, so he's never going to be on the richest person in the world's list. Mm-hmm. But that's the rumor, and that's the hypothetical thing that kind of would put him. So it would be like if Donald Trump went to every billionaire in America, or like the top 20 billionaires, and said, give me 20% of your company, right? So, and if you don't, I'm gonna put you in jail, or I'm gonna run you out the country. So it's interesting.
To say the least. I know we have A16Z, but this is a different kind of venture capital. I think there's two lists. There is a list where you pay, or you have your team negotiate for you to tell how much you make, and then there's a list of people who are really the richest that ask not to be on, and they go out of their way to hide how much they actually have. I've heard this too. For those of you who are interested in crypto, it may behoove you to look and see how much crypto may be in possession of a leader that may frequent St. Petersburg. I don't want to say his name. He's a boogeyman, you know what I mean? But that's why I'm like, even with the brick stuff, when you have a person that is that smart, war general, and understands enterprise, there are great lessons to take away from it. I think the 50% rule is brilliant, but also too, like, what's the difference in that versus taking private equity or venture capital? And the threat is just more direct, if you will. There have been a lot of companies that have been taken over, and I'll say it, the one amazing thing that Mark Zuckerberg did to keep his company is separating those Class A shares that he has versus what everyone else has, and those Class B, so nobody can take his company over ever again, like how they were trying to do a couple of years ago. So yeah, I've heard he's top 5 on that list now. That Saudi royal family, they'll take up it's like G and X. They'll take up a bunch of spots on that top 10, but Putin is on there, high up there for sure. And I think that's why Trump has a certain level of respect and admiration, because Putin is able to do something that Trump could never get up here in the States. Yeah,
I think Trump secretly really admires, because Putin is a different type of world leader, right? Where he rose up the ranks from a foot soldier. So he comes from the KGB. He was and he got into politics. He didn't start in politics. Nope. He started with killing people. That's where he started at. So
he started out as a soldier.
KGB. It's not just a regular soldier. He's in the KGB. So that's like what would the KGB be in America? Special Forces, Green Beret type. Yeah. What do they call those special Navy SEALs type? Going underground. Black Ops. Black Ops type. That's where he comes from. That's where he comes from, and he rose up the ranks and then got into politics. So he still thinks like a soldier. So, 48 laws of power, destroy your opposition completely.
Yep.
And make examples. So it's like, that's one of the things that he did. And that's a similarity with Trump, right? He doesn't have a country where he can just throw people in jail, but he tries to embarrass people publicly. And that's part of the strategy. So you deter. So now Jeff Bezos doesn't feel comfortable and giving them
endorsing a candidate,
right? Because you made examples of other people. You made examples of other people. It's like, all right, let me just back off. Like it works. It works. Like I mean, like that's the kind, and that's what Putin has done. So it's from a financial standpoint, when they invaded Ukraine, a lot of those billionaires had the assets frozen because a lot of them, they had money in America, they had money in Europe. One guy owns Chelsea football team. They making him sell. They're trying to make him sell his stake in Chelsea. So, and then a lot of these guys went to Dubai, put their boats. They had like these. One guy has a $500 million yacht. The yacht cost $500 million. 2 helicopter pads. So he kind of screwed up business a little bit by going into Ukraine because it was like.
And the war wasn't supposed to last as long. That won't be talked about, but the war was supposed to be over in 39 days, and we've been there 2 years.
Yeah. So is we'll never know, but it's something that, like I said, most people would never even think that. They wouldn't even. You think about the richest people in the world. I'm pretty sure the average person is not thinking Vladimir Putin. By
design. Even on the web, even with this Mandela effect bullshit they put out, and for those of you who don't know, who be like, I can learn everything on YouTube. Thank y'all for tuning in here today. Shout out to Google. All the information in the world that are in textbooks are not available online. The information that they want you to see is online. That's why there's a dark web. There's another part of the web where you can't easily access information. A lot of stuff is scrubbed off and or hidden. But yeah, if I was the richest person in the world, I would want to act as if I was not either.
And another thing is that this goes back to moving silence. It's not in his benefit to broadcast how rich he is. This goes back to even social media. Like I said, I try. Yep. I mean, you on a micro level, like it's not in your benefit to tell people how much money you have. Like the Saudi Arabia, they don't need to be on Forbes list. That doesn't validate.
They're paying to stay off.
If you're worth $400 billion, is making the Forbes list gonna make or break your situation?
No. Quick question, everyone. Who's the chairman of Saudi Aramco? Never seen him at a Michael Rubin party. Shout out to Michael Rubin. I didn't see him there with a big ass chain on, trying to get pictures with Tom Brady. Shout out to Tom. Appreciate you. But hey, like there's the other level of wealth, like the ultra wealthy that own super conglomerates. They want to stay out of the way, out of the shadows, out of the newspapers, and just collect their wealth quietly. So, and I was saying this 2 years ago for all my crypto enthusiasts, would you still be invested if you knew that him and or Russia had a considerable interest in Ethereum and or Bitcoin? But we know no one cares now, as long as it goes to the moon.
Yeah, I was to say nobody care about that.
Nobody.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So Travis Hunter, shout out to him. Probably gonna win the Heisman. Great season. Top three draft picks in 2025 NFL draft for sure.
Absolutely.
Historic career. But he made some it was a little thing. So it's an interesting situation. Let's just play this video if we can.
Yeah.
Lynn, you the best man in football, girl. Get
I'm so done with all this.
What did I do?
I saw you talking to those bees over there. Why would you do that?
I was interacting with the fans.
Okay, so the video shows, I don't want to get in his relationship, but it's bigger than just his relationship, right? We're just using this as a public example, but it's not about him. But it is interesting because I noticed it actually when I was watching the game.
Okay.
And I actually noticed it in real time. I'm like, oh no, I see what this is. And even when he was giving
girlfriend press, terrible.
So do you wait if you have something to say to somebody, or you might feel a certain way, but somebody just came off of a very high moment?
Mm-hmm.
When do you address something? That's vitally important. It's not about how you address it. It's sometimes when you address it.
Yeah. In a public forum like that, I don't think it's time. I'm not speaking for her, and but for any of us that has maybe been through this, my thing is like do it with class, quietly. Let me know, hey, I need to talk to you. Can you fix something? Cool, I'll talk to you once we finish, because he's still on a field conducting business. And in an age where DEI is being cut, superstar athlete, career earning potential, probably 200 million. These little things do matter. What interview questions pop up at the combine do matter. So I think the right thing to do is just to address it in private. This goes for men too, because I've seen some men act up when their girl was doing something they didn't like and they acted fucking fool. But I think you need to pull a person to the side and say, hey, I need to talk to you later. But keep the joy going in the moment. For some of y'all who used to be with me, you tried to pull this little bullshit. I sent you packing right the fuck off stage, didn't I?
So fact.
You gotta be mindful, y'all.
Show's over. So
immediately, Ashley, go ahead. Now I'm a weapon ass Ashley. Hey, with all the bulldog shit you do, go ahead, attack her. Get her out of here right now. Vamos.
So the thing about it is, this is interesting because, like I said, you know, it's just a learning experience for them. They're young. They're like probably 21 years old, something like that. But this goes back to business as well, where in business you said like the richest people don't want you to know that they're rich. So there's power in keeping things private. And once that's a fact. And once again, you know, going back to big problems with the wife, don't discuss them. One thing you can learn about politicians is that you never see them fight publicly. You're not going to see Melania curse out Trump. You're not going to see Michelle.
Some side eye though.
Yeah, but you know, it's still, you know. Now, what happens when they get home and all of that? That's like Michelle, all that stuff that she wrote in her book about her. You would have never known that.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's important. Keep public perception vitally important. So if you're in the public eye, or even if you're not, if you just go to office Christmas party, this is relevant to your everyday person's life.
Absolutely.
And I've seen this happen before. When you're at your office Christmas party, when you're at your office picnic, when you're at your
Thanksgiving, Christmas dinner,
keep protocol at all times. I don't care how bad it gets. Keep protocol, because what ends up happening is that you're not just embarrassed the other person, you embarrass yourself.
Absolutely.
And now we're all embarrassed in front of a bunch of colleagues that doesn't need to happen, right? It doesn't benefit anybody. So never show your attitude publicly. Never talk to somebody in a negative light publicly.
Yeah.
Wait till you get home. Some people are like, yo, sometimes it can't wait. It can always wait.
Yeah. And especially too, like, I'm gonna say this, and this go for men too. But if you're not the star, you gotta wait. Well, like, I'm gonna say this too. Like, I'm gonna be real, and I'm trying to be sensitive, be a better person, be more loving. But if you don't have the Q score and you're not driving sales, you gotta wait for the motherfucker who put the people in the building.
That's a fact. And in times of executive decisions, the executive makes a decision.
Gotta make a decision.
You always follow it's like the military. Yep. You can't curse out your general. You can't even curse out your own other rank and file. And you get disciplined for that. Time and place for everything.
Everything.
Discipline. You gotta have discipline to control your emotions.
Yeah. Hold on, say that again. That's a great bar.
Discipline. You gotta be disciplined and control your emotions.
That's
like, yo, like, nah, I'm gonna get this out right now. No, we're not doing this.
Not the time.
We're not doing this now. This is what we're not going to do.
Yeah. Because truth is, in business, if I don't want to do business with an erratic person, the person that you with is a representation of you.
That's a fact.
So if your woman or husband is erratic, it may, and people must know that's not true if they want to. No, people will do business with who they want to. And if I think you have chaos in your life, I don't want you in my circle causing chaos in my shit either. Because your girl may start to talk to who I'm with, and then y'all, no.
And sometimes being a supportive person is the biggest asset in the situation. So, meaning, if you are a woman and you are the CEO of a company, if you bring your husband to the party and he's doesn't do any, like, the level of you, right?
Yeah.
And he gets drunk,
belligerent,
and he starts being belligerent. That's an embarrassment on you, but it's also going to hurt you because they're not going to take you seriously. Like you said, I'm not doing business with this person. You can't even control your household. This is a direct reflection on your family. Vice versa. vice versa. I led with the woman example because I don't want to be sexist, but I mean, it happens in both ways. So it's like, okay, if the man is top creme de la creme and he's bringing a young lady and she might not be at that exact same level, even if she is, if she's arguing with him, showing attitude, you can't control your own personal situation. How I can't trust you.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you can't control your own personal situation that you have going on, how can you control management of other people?
You can't do it if you're too fearful to run your household. And fellas, even if it's somebody you care about, me, Nicole, who else is in there? Pierre. It's a well girl in Miami. That was our last trip to 11. Cool. I'm gonna straighten you right here where you act up at. That's what my mom used to tell me. Hey, you act up in Target, I'm gonna take care of you in Target. Hey, you want to act super 11 on the second floor? Especially when there's some down there who what? Okay, this all leave you right there. Dead woman walking. I ain't want to.
Leave you right where you stand.
But you want to act stupid and make it about you. And I'll say this too. You have to make sure you invest in people who are happy to see you elevate and not be frustrated because they've been stagnant based on their choices.
That's a fact.
A lot of times these moments happen, and not to go back to their situation, but baby girl, you picked me because you knew I was lit and the motherfuckers in the stands like me too though. Just interacting with fans. I can't go say hi.
That's a fact. Don't embarrass. And this actually goes even bigger than just, this goes to friendships as well. If I'm bringing somebody, like, that's why I don't like to move with a lot of people, because I'm gonna feel a burden because I gotta make sure that they don't do no dumb shit. Yeah. It's a direct reflection of me. So if I bring you around and you doing all kinds of dumb shit, it's embarrassing to me, right?
Yeah.
And you wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for me.
Sounds harsh, but it's true. Can we deliver it in our delivery, right? We got to deliver it in a better way.
But that's a fact, though. And to solve that, it's like, okay, now I'm not coming with anybody.
Who's in your rider? Me. Xander. You need water? Nope. Just in the wire.
That's good. That's it. That's the easy fix for that.
Keep it lean. Keep it lean. Keep it cute. So, but fellas, if the shoe was on the other foot, some of y'all be acting up in public too. You gotta stay very demure. Whatever the male version of demure is. Ooh, are you gonna be crying like Offset? Offset been in the gym like crazy. You seen the way he working out?
Yeah.
Hey, holiday season. Y'all be careful. Don't go through them holiday breakups and have them fights. And that's the other part too. It's like you gonna fight at around holiday time.
That's a fact. Think about the crews. Like even Fat Joe was telling us about how his crew cost him a lot of money because they was, had people are scared and different things happen. And it's like,
yeah,
move very lean. Mm-hmm. The person that you choose to move with, make sure that they understand protocol. You gotta have these conversations, or you gotta think about things early. Like, we're not doing no public embarrassment, because when you embarrass me, you embarrass yourself and you embarrass us all. And I can't afford it.
And money isn't everything, but I don't want to lose equity over how someone around me acts. I remember after we did the Madison Square show, my dad went one way, her and her sister went one way. I'm screaming like, "Get back over here!" Da da da. And she thinking I'm barking. I'm like, "Dog, somebody kidnap you." They know I got a coin or two. They can get all my little XRP coins off me real quick, right?
So you've had these issues at a variety of different places.
Yeah, then they get cleaned up real fast.
What was what are some of the causes that the issues?
You want me to be honest?
Yes.
Jealousy.
She was jealous of
stardom. So you said it right. Of the star. I'll play humble. Of stardom. Stardom, motherfucker. So the little raggedy motherfuckers you had prior to me too were not, you were the one. No, I've been the one. Before the show, the stardom. So wake it up. Ooh. It hit different when I say, hey, I love you dearly, but I don't need you. And I'm straight. Next 7 years, I don't gotta do nothing for real. Me and Xander mom cooking. Oh, our career cooking, cool. Xander already taken care of. You go. It's gonna hurt me. This is 3 weeks I'm gonna miss you. But that's why I say when you it's one thing I've learned. You have to make sure that they are proud of you and appreciate you as you're ascending, and not feel a way that they are personally stagnant. A lot of times people are getting their feels, and I can say this for you too. Like y'all bullied him into dressing down because you won't dress up. Like, what? Told her baby the other day, she's like, "How we gonna go to brunch?" Cool. She put some shit on. I'm like, "All right, cool." No, like stay dressed up. If I don't believe in overdressing. If you want to go crazy, go crazy. But a lot of times people want you to humble yourself to make them feel comfortable with the sacrifices they didn't make.
Facts.
So what I could have done better is selecting people who, because they saw potential in what was already going on, but they didn't think it kick into another gear. And now it's like, well, like out of other women you can have, why would you want me? Bitch, you're here. Appreciate it. Because if I open my eyes and take these rose-colored glasses off and go see what's downstairs at 11, you might not be. You know what I mean?
Well, cool. It's important to never be jealous of your partner. That's a real thing.
Be happy.
That's a real thing, though. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
And you're jealous of your partner. That's never gonna work. If you with somebody that's jealous of you, leave.
Finito. What's up with it? Shout out to her. Appreciate it. You know, I had this issue a little time or two. You ain't never had no issues?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Of course. You know.
Yeah, it happens. You learn.
Been through it all. But you gotta learn. You gotta learn from it.
Adapt faster. I will say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have the conversation early, protocol early. This is how you move. Da 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 da. So, and I'm cool with letting everybody fly and spread their wings and shit. But like, if this is my show, like you're here for me, let's stay in pocket. Because if you get kidnapped, then I'll, you know what I mean. Look crazy if I don't pay for you. You be on shade room. So, send me the money like that. But shout out to you. I appreciate you.
Well, speaking about Colorado, staying in that vein, Deion Sanders, shout out to Coach Prime. Congratulations on the season. He has two sons on the team, Shador and Shiloh, and they both were seniors. And, at senior night, the tradition is that the players' parents walk them out to midfield, and then they get, their plaques, roses, whatever, the crowd gets, and that's like traditional. Sometimes people don't have parents, or they might not have one parent, but if that's like a tradition. So Deion Sanders, he has a tumultuous relationship with the mother of his sons. And his ex-wife, and I guess they're not on speaking terms, I guess. So Shiloh was saying that he was actually let's play this clip.
Let's play the clip.
All right, we're going to try to do the impossible. My brother just got my mom from the stands to the senior night. We didn't know we had to walk. They're like World War III trying to get them to walk together.
A quarterback from Dallas, Texas, number 2, Deion Sanders. And a safety, number 21, Shiloh Sanders. Joined by Deion Coach Brian Sanders. For all of our honorees playing in their final game at Wilson Field today, we thank you all for your
Okay. So in that video, you see, so Shiloh was trying to actually bridge the gap, but it didn't work. So Deion walks them out to when they meet the mother, and then he does the 180. Shout out to Deion Sanders, man.
Shout out to Deion. I appreciate you on so many levels.
Personal hero.
Yes.
Going back to when he played football, I gotta be honest with you. I can appreciate that because I feel like the best thing to do is to avoid war.
The conflict. Yeah.
Avoid the conflict. And some beef is everlasting.
Should it be though?
Yes.
Got you. Okay.
Some beef is everlasting. Like that's what people, you don't gotta personally try to hurt somebody or whatever, but sometimes like you do some, and I don't know that situation. I'm just saying in general. Sometimes after you do so much stuff to a person,
cross a line,
we're never going to be, and I might even speak to you again just out of, because I have to, but we're never going to be on good terms. There's some people in this life that I'm never going to be on good terms with because the shit that they did was just so out of pocket, and they've done it multiple times. And it's just like, even if it comes a point in time where I speak, say what's up, have a little, fake conversation where you're never going to be in good graces with me, right? Like,
who's on the list?
There's a few people, but it's never going to be cool. So I understand that, and some people are gonna be like, "Well, that's not mature." Well,
so be it.
It's life. It's life.
It happens.
It happens.
It depends on what the violation is.
It happens, and especially in a relationship. Like, I knew somebody once, and they told me that it was like, if you live long enough, you'll be able to understand everything. You just got to live. If you don't understand something, it's because you haven't lived long enough.
Haven't experienced it. Yep.
As you get older, you start to understand everything. There's very few things that I don't understand. I might not agree with everything.
Yeah.
But I understand most things now. So it's like somebody told me years ago, like, they haven't spoken to their son's mother in like 10 years, but the kid was like 16. So I'm like, well, what do you mean? Like, he's like, I talk to him directly. And if there's something that I send her an email, but I haven't physically spoken to her in 10 years. I just couldn't understand that, but I understand that now.
What did she do? Damn.
I can understand why you would not want to talk to somebody, because it gets to a point where
it's too toxic, too tumultuous.
To the point where it's just like, you know what? For my own personal mental health, sanity, and freedom, it's no benefit in me having a conversation with you.
Yeah, I really commend Deion for how, I had to watch the video back, like, where did he go? The double tap, acknowledge the kids, love y'all. I don't want to get into their business, but she did accuse him of some things on the divorce, and I'm sure the payout was crazy and the stuff that comes with that. But it goes back to the co-parenting thing. Like, if you can work things out and be cordial, please do. But yeah, be mindful in the heat of the moment. You don't cross the line that will cost the connectivity of the family to be broken up. And that goes for men and women. Like, I'm thankful that Xander's mom and I are now able to be cordial. What happened for like a couple of years. But sometimes people cross some lines, and I've had friends go through it on both sides where it's like, Jesus Christ, this is too much. So, yeah, avoid war at all costs. That's probably one of the biggest lessons I picked up from you. For real, just like, be mindful of weighing up all the costs before you like engage in battle and war. But I got to commend Deion, personal, and he showed how to move with grace. I haven't heard him say anything bad about her, but hopefully they can repair, and ladies too, sometimes, I'm speaking my soft voice, if you do it wrong, even if it was a few years ago, an apology does help. Hey, I was tripping, I felt the way. I'm sorry.
But don't apologize if it's not genuine, because your best apology is changing behavior. That's the best of that's. Save your words. Your words don't mean anything. You're going to apologize and end up doing the same dumb shit over and over again. If you really feel sorry about what you did, change your behavior.
Yeah. Then you're going to be on the corner of 11 and go, why won't you take me back to the hotel with you? How you going to get put out and cry after you act stupid? I'm back up with you.
And for the people that's going to be like, well, that's going to be detrimental to the development of a child to see their parents not speaking. Well, I mean, what can you do? In life, everybody has trauma. So
let's try not to add to it, though.
Yeah,
so you're on the side of saying, fuck it, don't talk. I'm on the side of saying, try and iron it out if you can for the sanctity of the kid. I'm not saying go through abuse, but yeah, I get it. I understand both sides. I've lived long enough to get it.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So,
with these topics, you think we're misogynistic? Because they be saying that in the comments sometimes. Or like, can we remind you this is partly for entertainment purposes, but this is the other side of money? Like, why do you think people get so offended at these topics and conversations when clearly they're still ailing our community?
When you say misogynistic, what do you mean?
I'm just going off what the stupid look on Instagram.
For sure. I don't look at myself as that, but everybody has views things through different lenses.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think so. I feel like women empowerment has been at the forefront of everything that we've already done. Our first guest on Earn Leisure was Miss Business. So,
Talk about it.
But I'm just equal opportunity. Me personally, I feel like you got to call out right and wrong. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. And like I said, most of the time, if anything, I critique the dudes more than anybody because I just see that they've actually turned more feminine than
bitches,
than the women. So it's like my critique is more so about the
Is that because of the GMO or?
I just think that they just are just suckers. Like, it's just a sucker pandemic. So most of my critique has been towards men.
Yeah.
For the audience standpoint.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that, go out of their way to try to just do a bunch of dumb shit for $200.
So they're emotional escorts.
Facts.
Pretty much.
They might as well be strippers.
Yeah.
They act like it's the same type of vibe. Like, same thing.
Yes.
Say my name. You might as well, man. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but
yeah. Speaking of ballerinas and strippers, you believe that Sophie made $48 million from OnlyFans in 1 year?
It's possible. I mean, if you look at it from what Kai is bringing in from his stream, and shout out to him. I think he had like 700,000 subscribers. Somebody did the math. They said he's making like 24 million just from the streams. But that's probably a low ball number because that's just, I think $5 is the lowest you could pay. So some people might pay more than it is super chats. And so he's probably making up was like 40 million. So from her, I'm not sure exactly how OnlyFans works because I've never been a member of the OnlyFans community.
Never subscribed.
But what I've been told is that there's different tiers. And what I've been told also is that sometimes some dudes will pay $3,000 for a Zoom call. Like you could work off of like there's different aspects of OnlyFans.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah. That happens. You hear about that?
Okay. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 5, 10, 15, triple tier.
No, we need to do an episode with some OnlyFans. Put what OnlyFans girl should we have on Blackout?
That'd be a great conversation.
Fully go over.
Balance the thirsty self, no.
Well, because it's a business conversation.
Business combo.
And it's marketing, and it goes back to like a whole bunch of things. But yeah, somebody told me that before. They like one dude, he was like a top person in their followers rank. And paid $2,000, $3,000 for a Zoom call. They didn't even meet in person. And I'm like, yo, in the Zoom call, like, what you had to like strip for? And ironically enough, she's like, nah, they ain't even want to see. Like, they just want to have a conversation. Now, most of these dudes, a lot of these dudes have fetishes. Like, so like the foot fetish shit. That's a bunch of them. Yeah. Fetish is a big one. But a lot of these dudes it's not even about a sexual thing. It's not about sexual things at all. It's about, I want to have a conversation with you. I want to talk to you. I want to tell you about how I'm not shit as a person. Like, I want you just to look at me and not say anything for 3 minutes.
Like winning some billions? This is crazy. Wait.
This kink epidemic is a whole thing too. We gotta start talking about that shit. When is all of this freaky shit that's been happening?
Programming. Yeah, y'all talk about the freak off, but and even some of them porn sites, they starting to get the digital freak off. Listen, some of them porn sites, they're moving in a certain underworld capacity that's starting to be investigated and rated.
I mean, it says a lot about the times that we're in. If she's making $40 million a year from OnlyFans, she's making more than the top NBA players. She's making more than Fortune 500 CEOs of companies. Nice. It's real. That's a industry.
That's a life-changing amount of money, yo.
Generational changing amount of money in 1 year.
Look how much the OnlyFans creator has made. Back to the Putin play, 50-50. That's popping off. Yeah. Only thing missing is the missus. Cleaning up, yo.
That's a fact.
Ooh. If she got a clean 48, I'm not mad at you. But put that shit in video, VOO. Hold for a lifetime. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, we gotta have a little other conversation too with the.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
We gotta have a whole series of after dark workers. So we gotta have the OnlyFans conversation. We gotta have the bottle service conversation.
Okay.
We gotta have the bartender conversation because they are different on some.
They are different.
The stripper conversation. Like we gotta have multiple conversations because people are like, oh, why would you denigrate? Wait, I didn't. These are industries that exist.
Yeah.
And they're legal, and they're making billions of dollars a year, and
undisciplined men. On if that girl made 48, she not the only non-Dr. Umar approved girl that made 40 million a year. She ain't even that tough. That's why I was like, wait, what? But she may know her target market. That would be an amazing interview to have, though. See what the engagement is. Oh, if you got ClickFunnels on OF?
Probably lead you off site.
Absolutely.
But when I heard about the Zoom call, that's when I was like, oh, nah, this is different. These dudes is paying for Zoom calls. That's like the dude that gave Ruby Red like $3,000 for
a cheek kiss
on the cheek, like. Yeah,
and y'all thought I was lying about the Bernice. I'm like, dog, I've seen dudes do wild shit for nothing. Y'all be acting all disciplined, but no. Mm-mm.
How you do one thing is how you do everything.
Absolutely.
Shout out to James Harden. Forgot to mention, gave us beard products. Man, shaving products, beard products. Shout out to James Harden. See, I got, as the winter approaches us, I'm letting my beard grow, letting my hair. People think that I'm bald, but I'm actually not bald.
Yeah.
So, man versus wilderness. I'm on my man versus wilderness vibe right now. You're gonna see me like Fidel Castro. Much, man. Just full-fledged Philadelphia freeway is coming.
That's funny.
That's
it's about that time.
Shout out to James Harden, man. The most famous beard ever.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, now some other famous beards, but yeah, as far as facial hair,
real beard, like a real.
As far as facial hair, yeah,
right.
Yeah,
he gotta be number one.
Brandon 101, yeah, he looked good on that court too. Killing, taking lead. I don't know what's gonna happen with Kawhi and Paul, but hey, you gotta get a couple more players, and Clippers will be straight.
That's a fact. So
yeah,
okay. We talked about the not like us situation last week with Maul. Shout out to Maul.
Shout out to Maul. Thank you.
But now they saying that sales have went up 440% in streams, 20% increase.
Yeah.
So is this something that kind of backfired?
I believe so. Shout out to the boy. Shout out to Act. Shout out to Maul. Shout out to Joe. But yeah, the timing of it looks in poor taste. I know Act said the same thing too. Like, I think Drake should have just went away maybe for like 4 or 5 months, let the nostalgia kick in. Like J. Cole did it with the podcast that he has going back through his early career, and it like people forget, well, not forget, but they almost don't even care he backed out of the battle. So I think the timing of it was just misinformed. Right fight, wrong time. And I know like the media side is split and the industry split over this, but I think a good lesson in business is knowing when to attack and when to retreat. And this is definitely a time to be silent, kind of let him have his moment. Because sometimes, and you told me this too, like, yo, if you keep going back and forth, you can keep this issue alive longer than it should be.
That's a fact. And that
just chill.
This is a business lesson to learn.
Yes, it is.
For me personally, I think here's what you do when you lose a battle. You take time off, and then you come back, and you don't even acknowledge it. You act like nothing happened. And at the highest level, this is what Mark Zuckerberg did. This is what Elon Musk has done. Like these people fail. They have different. Like you don't even acknowledge it.
A bunch of failed ventures. Yep.
Cameron played this perfectly. After that, you gotta remember he got booed at Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
Like that Dipset battle was worse than what people. I was actually there in person.
Yeah.
That was worse than what it was even portrayed to be. Like Cameron got booed. It got so bad he got booed. Right. That was a humiliating, embarrassing moment.
Yes.
Took some time off.
For a battle you were supposed to win too.
Right. Took some time off. Came back with a sports show. Now he's on top of the world.
Hit.
You got Drake's problem is that he's trying to. You just like you said. You're prolonging this thing. It doesn't even need to be
giving it life.
Look, at the end of the day, he could have just left. Yo, you had a good battle, bro. Like it was a respectable. That's what people are forgetting.
Yeah,
it was a respectable battle. Remember, it was tied for a long time. He put a song
and
out.
Kendrick warned him to be fair, like, yo, we can stop here or we can go.
Yeah, but it was a great battle. It's probably the greatest battle ever. It's not just the greatest song; it's the greatest battle. Drake put some great records out. They went back and forth. He lost the battle. Okay, cool. Everybody loses. Like it's not that big of a deal. You know, just go chill out, take a year off, take 6 months off, come back with some dope ass music, and you know people. I do think that Universal leaked this though, because I was talking to somebody and I'm like, it's not in Drake's benefit to leak this lawsuit thing. Because how did it get out? How did the information get out?
It wasn't his team.
I think that they did this on purpose to even. They said, okay, you think we fucking with your reputation now? We're gonna even make it even worse. Like, so
and it won't stop. And it won't stop. Timing, everything is in timing. And life, business, personal life. And also too, like, shout to TV Gucci, like, it's like, yo, a boy should have danced on social media to it and acted like the show didn't bother him. Like when people can see that you're rattled, they're gonna keep pushing that button that bothers you. When you're unbothered by it, that's why, like, a lot of times when some of them videos that come up about us, I get up right on the phone, joke with them. Oh man, that was a good one, yo. Tell us what we can do better. And they'll tell us mistake. Okay. Clip channel. Cool. All right, cool. Should we shoot an AK next year in the submarine if you want? Cool. But sometimes to make the war go down, yo, sometimes be self-deprecating. Make fun of yourself. Cool. Square. Ooh, big failure. Net worth. Circular. But shout to Drake. Shout to Kendrick. Big win. Shout to Universal for doing y'all want to and making sure he's good. But it's an interesting battle, to say the least.
Well, what about Kendrick Lamar selling 319,000 the first week? I think is that
a flop?
Hell no. How could it be a flop? It's the number one rap album of the year.
Ain't nobody selling nothing. 319, don't get me wrong. 319 is a good number. For the promo it got, I thought he was going to be like close to damn. And I like the album for those like, oh, you a glazer like Maul. Don't talk no shit to me about glazing if you don't have 20 shares or nothing. Cool. That's the real ninja challenge, okay? But I think the album was good, but it also goes to show if Drake still has the number one selling album of this year and most streamed this year without an album, there was some manipulation that happened in the algorithm ecosystem. And also outside of that, fuck that. Bill Ackman made 1.5 billion off Universal this year, owns 10% stake. Tencent and China owns 20%. Like, let's get to the money part. That's the part we were trying to bring up last week. Like, you can make fun of it, and that's cool. But like, who is pushing what buttons to make this narrative go in our community? As soon as Bitcoin took off, the next thing we got was a battle and this and not. Like, who cares about litigation this much? What are they distracting us from is what I really care about.
And that's the crazy thing about it. It's like, yeah, Bill Ackman owns 20% of Universal Music Group. I think he might be one of the most highest people that have ownership in Universal.
Absolutely.
Bill Ackman, you know, he's the guy that said DEI must die. He championed that shit. So it's like he's your boss. This is the guy. Like, go through his track record. Look at what he said publicly, right? So what's the real battle here?
Yep. I'm cool, you know, like losses happen. But when you start to look at, and if that's the case, if you have investors that are in the company that are anti-DEI, you think they're going to give him the equity that he's asking for?
No.
It's bigger than Nino Brown. That boy was asking for 20% equity stake in UMG 4 years ago. Not going to happen. So, what?
But yeah, shout out to Kendrick. I think it's a win. And I think also it's a win for hip hop more than anything else, because I feel like I told Sticks this. And the thing I like about Kendrick, I'm not like the biggest Kendrick Lamar fan of all time, but the thing I appreciate about him is that he brought lyrics back to the shit, like to the forefront of like, I know people gonna be like, no, there's always been dope lyrics. There's been Rhapsody, there's been J. Cole, but I'm just saying the number one person, like he's the number one person, and he set the bar with just lyrics. So a lot of these dudes that was just doing a mumble rap, and for a long time, like lyricism was like laughed at. It was like, yo, I'm just going, I could just mumble on the song. Like, who cares what I'm saying? And like, all like that time is over with. So I appreciate him for bringing that back, like bringing the bars back, bringing the lyrics back, bringing substance back, like rapping about something. And it's not as easy as it used to be. It's not as easy as you could just go in the booth and just hum along to the melody and come out and just do a dance, and then that's the actual record. Put some auto tune on your voice, and that's the actual record. All that's about to be over with. Yeah,
and I also said it too. Like, be careful of telling your enemies what to do to beat you. There was a lot of criticism of he doesn't put out music fast enough. Now he's probably gonna put out 2 in the next 2 years. He's not going to put on people from the show in Compton, the Crip convention. Then he went and put on all local acts. Like, be mindful of telling people who have and I say this in the kindest way, a psychotic brain like Kendrick, what to do to beat you, because he's going to use all that shit and more.
That's like, that's a fact. But yeah, shout out to him. Like I said, I do appreciate that aspect for sure. That's because that's been needed.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Fauci.
Got this theory. Moderna was at 400 at one point. It's in the 40s now. He benefited some from that. A person who is as visibly public, Shelly, I can hear you now. My mom, I can hear you now. Who was that public facing for 2 years. Why has he been so quiet? It's out of sight. Back to that list. You can either pay to be in all the publications, all the video. He was everywhere. CBS News, shit. He went on Button Podcast, CNN, CNBC. I looked on LinkedIn last night. What thought you put on LinkedIn? Why you been so quiet? Shout out to Kyrie.
Peace to Kyrie. It's interesting. I don't know.
Great answer.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Politics, religion, that other group should be on there, and then pharma should be number 4.
That's a fact.
That's the big 4.
Reza Islam.
Yes. Facts. But I just wonder if anybody's been on vacation. If anybody been to Tulum and seen Dr. Fauci, tell him that I said hello. But I wonder where he has been.
Where is he? Where is he now?
Yeah.
Where is he now? Okay. Can we talk about this Dr.Umar thing?
Yes.
So let's show this clip.
A big difference between the snow bunny and the African queen is the snow bunny will find a black man in progress. She will find him on the job. She will find him on the university. And that snow bunny will see a black man with potential, and she will invest in him. She will help him level up. And then when the sister see him 5 years ago, 5 years later, he's a millionaire. And the sister say, look at that sellout. He went and got a white girl. But guess what? When he was looking for a sister to help him level up, to invest in him, none of them wanted it. You know why? Too many black women want a finished product. Black women have to stay with me. Black women have to stop expecting men to be a finished product. It's harder on us. Help him level up. Stay with me. Help him level up and become what you need him to be. Because the big reason why these snow bunnies are running off with black men is they're meeting them when they have nothing, but they believe in their vision. And black women are waiting for him to cross the finish line. And by the time he crosses the finish line, the snow bunny done snatched him already.
All right. Dr. Umar, never one to shy away from controversy. Pretty much said that, a lot of times black women, and when he says black women, I think he's talking about American black women specifically. That's an important distinction to make.
Okay.
He said black women want a final product, meaning they're not willing to work with somebody on the come up. And that's why a white woman would actually work with somebody on the come up. And that's his thesis on why a lot of successful black men have white women. Well, let me say a lot, because I don't think I think that's a fake narrative.
Yeah,
but
I think that's
some successful black men have white partners.
There's two immediate thoughts I had. Shout out to Dr. Umar. He knows how to make a viral moment, right? But number one, there's been a bunch of women who have stood by men, and then when they got up out of poverty or out of struggling, they didn't stay with them. So what's the purpose of helping someone build? Number two, I think all women want a finished product, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Just like certain men want bad women, bad bitches, etc. But all that building shit in the age of social media, nobody wants to do that.
But I don't know about that though, because I look at it like I look at this from two different angles. From my own personal perspective, which I can't really look at that because, I've been on a trajectory for a while, so my experiences are a little different. But from just what I've been able to observe from other people, I've seen the reverse. Like I've seen dudes didn't have no car, they using their girl's car, didn't have nowhere to stay. They living in their girl's house. The girl is a RN, got a job, and it's actually been to her detriment because she's been supporting a dude that has anything. So I don't know about that. I can't really agree with that because I haven't seen that firsthand. Like I've seen
women look out way more and help way more than men.
Like that's a fact.
Way more.
And that's why
Zach, I know you're gonna say I'm pandering. I need to see who you dated in real life for you to talk to me. I love you, but stop. Like you a fan. You know what I mean?
Because like when I was an advisor, most of my clients were black women. They made good money. You know why I like working with the women? Because they listened.
They're coachable.
They went out of their way to help. They give referrals 3 times more than men.
More loving, non-competitive.
They're better clients. That's why I don't understand. I don't see it like that. Like this narrative that black women are just materialistic, just gold diggers. I don't see that. Like there might be a set segment of that on social media, but that's not
escort, prostitute, culture. That's
not the average person. Like, if you in a certain segment in LA or New York, but that's not the average. That's not real life. Like real life, women look out.
Shit down.
They look out way more. They hold down. They hold the men down. When I have not seen that.
I'm not pandering. I got a question though. For most women in the chat, please answer. If you were to do, and he makes $22,000 a year, and in 2 years he's making 1.5, how much of that do you think you'll get back, and will he be with you after you make the 1.5? Most men are skedaddling off of 2 meme coins. They don't even be up yet. They go get them a little 2009 Nissan Altima and find somebody else to finesse, and they on to the next Ponzi. Women hold it down a lot more than people give them credit for.
Now, there might be a thing where it's like, they might.
Black women got a fucking right to say I don't want to date no bum.
They might let you drive their car, but they also going to talk to you a certain way. Now you're going. Now I have seen
Hello.
that. Now I have seen that.
Hello.
But it's their right to talk to you like that because you're not in a position. Like, bro, you can't be treated like a king and living like a peasant. The shit don't add up, bro. Like every person is not a king. You got to work to become a king.
Yeah.
We got to stop using that word so loosely. Nah,
everybody want a king. Everybody want Master Musa.
No, you got to earn that. It's like a general. You got to earn that stripe. Like, bro, don't expect to have fucking your meal cooked for you and your girl doing your cuticles, like cutting your nails for you. If she's working all day and she's financing you at studio hours. Now you might blow in that shit, but in the meantime, look, life's golden rule is the person with the goal makes the rules. So that's just common sense shit. Wow. Like you want to come up, if you want to come up and your girl is financing the operation, she's the boss. Like, what you want me to say? What you want me to say? She paying for shit. She's the boss.
And if the boss get frustrated,
act accordingly, nigga. Like, be supportive. Fucking light the candles and cook.
Also, and sweep up with a little Swiffer. Have shit in order. But be mindful because if he blow and you treated him bad, he may get his lick back. It'd be some of that too.
No, you don't abuse power. That's the thing. Even though, like as a woman, you shouldn't abuse. You shouldn't humiliate somebody because they're down. You might be taking care of your man. You don't just purposely go out of your way to just emasculate them for no reason. But you you'd have a right to ask questions. You have a right to ask questions.
How long should a woman like look after a man before you cut it off and say, no, this is penny stock?
I can't speak from that because I never had a woman look after me. So I don't know what that means. I don't know how that works. But I'm not totally knocking it because I understand that things happen, especially if you're in a relationship. You might sometimes you might fall on hard times. So I'm not knocking that, but I'm just saying I don't know what that looks like. Me, I'll sleep in my car before I live with a woman.
At least you're free.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a pride thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a pride thing. Like I'd rather be sleeping on the couch at my mom's house before I just under law and order of a woman. Like that's just me personally though, right?
You don't like matriarchy?
Yeah, I don't know what it is to have a woman take care of me. Gotcha. And I'm not doing nothing all day. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just don't. I can't understand how that gonna work.
Yeah.
Could you? Could you go for that?
I don't like no one having authority. It'd be tough to, you know what I mean? I've done better, but yeah, I got not authority issue, but like if your life is in the place that I want it to be in, it's hard to listen. So, no. Mm-mm. And I like to be able to get up and leave, and if shit don't work out, be like, yo, go ahead and go.
But you curated your life like that. That's important. I'm speaking to the guys. This is a real conversation. Look, I had an issue with authority since I was a kid. I knew that I couldn't work. It's not that I didn't want to work a job. I could not work a job.
Impossible. Yep.
But I had to sacrifice so I could become my own boss. Right? You can't just say, okay, I'm not working a job, but then not doing anything else.
No.
Like, okay, well, if you're saying that you're not working a job, what are you doing to become your own boss? Oh, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not gonna let a white man tell me what to do. All right, well, you're gonna get a government, you're gonna get a check from a white man. You're gonna get a government check
and still put in a white man's bank.
Exactly.
All that crypto y'all love, white peoples. Totally not from Japan, yo.
So this it's no easy fast track. If you on the type of time where I don't want my girl telling me what to do, I don't want to. All right, well, be prepared to work 20 hours a day. Be prepared, like, you know what I'm saying, like this. Like, don't think that you just going to become, gladiator overnight. And now you got to work for that, bro. Like, just because you're a man, I don't think just because you're a man, you earn rights just because of birth, right? You earn that. Like, you got to work to that. You got to respect is earned, not given. Nobody should just respect you just because. Like, you got to earn your respect from your family. You got to earn your respect from your kids. Like, just because you have a kid, you could be a deadbeat. Your kid shouldn't respect you if you haven't like you're not giving no money to him. You're not doing no shit. No, he gonna call you by your first name. He gonna call you by your first name. You gotta earn, like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta earn your respect. They gonna call you David.
That's not call you David.
Yo, if your kid calls you by your first name, that's the highest level of disrespect.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, that's tough.
and
a lot of y'all dudes be bosses and still be getting bossed around and talking crazy. Like, of course, course correction is fine, but like, even after you get the money, you still have to have principles and respect. You may say a lot about me, yo. You got these stories and what happened. You always hear me saying at the end, if it didn't work out or wasn't respect, go ahead. I'm gonna let you out of heaven. Go ahead. Gotta have respect for self first, because if not, people gonna take advantage of you.
And it's like I always say, a true leader never has to tell anybody to follow him. Think about it. The greatest leaders of our generation. Have we ever seen Malcolm X tell people to follow him, or Martin Luther King tell people to follow? No, they followed them because they saw hope, inspiration, education, and they do. Yep. The people that have to tell you, yo, I'm your leader, follow me. Like, those are the weakest people, because they're not even comfortable saying it. I say that to say, if you're the leader of a household, I think the man should be the leader of a household, right? That doesn't give you authority to be a tyrant. You don't have to. If you got to tell, yo, listen to what I tell you to do, then you're not a leader. You're not a leader, because you should just be providing leadership, and that's just going to happen organically. And it's like, you play off of each other. It's not like you tell somebody 100% of the time, but there has to be one leader. That's how life works. There can't be multiple leaders, and that's going to cause issues. So, but you can't lead. You can't follow a follower. So if you want somebody to follow you, work on your leadership.
Yep, work on your leadership. As we said on Market Mondays, Troy ended with this: be a better man.
That's a
better man. And there's nothing wrong with women wanting a finished product. Like, be a finished product, but just know when you become a finished product, the leverage is in your favor.
Yeah, and
if all of y'all be like, yo, who, Ian, why you not married? Oh my God, why y'all talking about this? Me being able to get married ain't the fucking issue. There was a lot to sort through, like how y'all was grating that cheese before Thanksgiving. It was a lot to sort through. Shout out to my baby. Hey, come on, y'all keep saying that, like, yo, if I figured out the hardest fucking stock market in the history of man that was not made for us, you don't think I can figure out who to marry? Stop talking to me about this dumbass shit, yo.
Yeah. So Umar, I don't agree with that, Umar.
Yeah. And the white girls, just because they wait at Colorado who play for UCF and University of Colorado, don't mean they're waiting to build. They just may be selecting before they get to the finish line.
That's a fact.
Like, come on, man. If you have been in Miami, LA, Phoenix, some hunters out there, boy. Them the other White Walkers from Game of Thrones, yo.
Now, I think there is a conversation about the international differences as far as cultural upbringings and interactions with opposite sex. That's a valid point to be made.
Don't import them over here. You're gonna get your import contaminated. When you bring in some customs and you bring your guava from Mexico, you bring any imports with you. Hey, you put them in this soil, she gonna get tainted. Be mindful. I know some of y'all trying to go do the little export. Y'all upgrading the passport, bro, thing and trying to bring them back, and then you're gonna put it right in Atlanta or Miami.
Import, export.
Gotta be mindful.
You have to be mindful in this world.
Yeah. And I'm gonna be real, man. Like, if you solid, like, in yourself and they know not to play with you, ain't gonna go through all them issues. Like, I mean, I hate to say it, but a lot of y'all be bitches in real life.
Well, that's my thing. It's like, and not to say that I never had, some toxic situations before, because I definitely have. But I'm just saying, in general, in life, like, who goes through this shit? Like, who's putting up with the nut shit? You're a nut for putting up with the nut shit.
What if they don't have anything else going on?
Be single. It's not the end of the world.
Most people are not comfortable enough in their skin to be by themselves.
That's the problem.
That's what, like, I keep talking about it. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I get none of these deep ass ethereal questions about the market because y'all getting high. Then Monday comes.
Because I got high.
Yeah, for real. Now you're gonna bump more off from Sunday. You want to use that gecko? Yo, King, what you think about the valuation? What was the value of that coke you snorted? You not looking at the market every day. Save your bullshit, yo. Stop it. Stop it. But what do I know? But we can have a cultural conversation about in different areas. But yeah,
that's a real. I don't know if we want to have that conversation yet, or
let's save it.
That's a real one. That's a valid conversation to be had.
Yeah.
To be continued.
Yeah, on both sides, fellas. You gotta go around the world and see how other people run a little protocol.
The world protocol is a lot different than American protocol. I'll tell you that much.
Way different, opposite. I said, oh, y'all,
global
hella loving and okay.
The global protocol play. The global protocol play. Shout out to all my black women, backbone of our society. The strength of 1,000 people wouldn't be here without you.
Yeah, or also just be a finished product and get some good dick, and then you'll be able to go who you want.
But there's no such thing as a finished product. That's another thing too. What is a finished product?
Just means successful.
Because even if somebody got money, they could still be immature,
unfinished,
unhealed, up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are we judging finished product by?
I think they're just trying to successful, but there's different tiers to that. Like you said, you can have the money, but if you don't have intelligence, emotional quotient up to par, not caring, not loving, not thought, like it's different brackets, bro. Like it's not just if you got a bag, or if you can buy some shit or some designer and put it on IG. Like there's a lot of lames walking around with money.
That's a fact.
So that don't mean anything. So, but what do I know?
That's a fact.
And for all of you in the comments, if you're a man and you got some commentary, DM me who you dated. And then we're gonna do tops card for tops card.
Talking it but ain't living it
at all.
That's why I said I couldn't. Certain things I can't
do it at all. First violation. Let me wrap it up.
But I can't empathize with. I can't empathize with not being able to, figure that out with I can't empathize with getting talked too crazy. I can't. No, we're not doing that at 19 till now.
Yeah. And you
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not. I was never doing that. I'm never going to do that.
Yeah. A lot of times too, though, as men, when men are attracted to toxic shit, it's because they have like a lot of unresolved and unhealed wounds from childhood that they haven't worked through yet too. Like if you grew up in a peaceful environment, you appreciate peace a lot more. Like my favorite thing is like, let's first, I don't believe in arguing, just to see what the reaction is going to be. Because a lot of it is determined based on your household. So, but be mindful.
Be mindful at all times.
Yep.
Okay. Market Mondays deal.com. 3 slots left. Lifetime access to Red Panda, lifetime access to UI University, lifetime access to InvestFest VIP, and in-person experience with ourselves and X in Atlanta, Georgia, 2 days at the end of January.
Amazing time.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Based off that, well, like what's the most underrated way to make money that people don't talk about enough or overlook?
Man, just the boring stuff. The boring stuff is there's always money in the boring stuff. So I gave the story about the guy in Ghana that became a millionaire from porta potties. But who makes bra hooks, right? There's so much shit that you just don't even think about.
Coffee sleeves and
the society runs off of, right? Like people got filthy rich off of this shit. And like you said, who nobody grows up thinking I want to make coffee sleeves.
Yeah.
Well, they need it. People drink coffee at a high level. Starbucks is $1 billion,
one of the top drugs in the world. That's legal.
That's a fact. So it's like, all of those boring businesses that nobody ever thinks about, that the world couldn't actually run properly if it wasn't for them.
Yeah.
That's highly underrated, I think.
Yeah, I agree. All the boring businesses and than derivatives of like who's the family that started Sweet and Low? Never hear about them. They took sugar, made a derivative of it that was unhealthy, deemed it as healthy, got passed, and then they got super fucking rich from it.
And another thing too, a lot of people, guys, if y'all can't figure out what to do, get a trade. Because that's never gonna die. HVAC companies are being bought up like crazy. Shut up for sending me that article. Like, that's the new thing that private equity is even focusing on. HVAC. Have a real skill. Not to cut you off, but no, get a trade. Learn HVAC, learn plumbing, learn how to construction, paint. These are things that flooring, roofing. Look, they're needed, and until we have robots that can do the job, we're going to need people. There's always going to be a need for a plumber.
Yeah.
Until a robot comes and can do the job, until that day comes, toilets will have to be changed, you fixed. It's gonna have to be done, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, people thinking like, I don't know what to do in my life. I'm not saying that you have to be a plumber for your whole life, but I'm just saying that's a skill that can never be taken away from you. So it's a great backup plan, but then you can also become an entrepreneur in that space as well. And these people make millions of dollars on the entrepreneurial side. The people that own the plumbing company, the people that own the HVAC company, these are the everyday millionaires. Drive a Toyota, and are putting their kids through college for this shit.
Yeah. I think we need to focus on the careers that are not sexy to give us a lifestyle that we want, opposed to going to the flashy careers that don't pay as much. And I think that's why we have some scamming in that 2021 and 23 era, because everyone wanted to live up to this lifestyle expectation. It's like you're doing that in businesses that don't really scale. So, but yeah, find a trade.
Do Americans work harder than South American immigrants?
No.
That's an easy answer.
No. And I'm trying to think the countries we work harder than.
Oh no, that we work harder than. We gotta go to Europe. Europe, Europe. We work work harder than Europeans for sure.
Yeah,
they maximize their leisure to the highest level possible.
Highest level, yeah.
But at some point in time, we gotta have a real conversation about entitlements that Americans have. And everybody's, blaming all these immigrants. They, like I said before, they're doing the jobs that Americans are not going to do, or they're gonna,
or not allowed to do,
or don't want to do. Like I was talking, my cousin, he got a company and they do moving, and he was saying like he tried to hire Americans, man. These dudes, man, they want to raise after 2 days. They complaining. They like, we need time off. Our feet hurt. He's like, he got dudes from El Salvador. Never, not one complaint ever.
You don't really want to complain there. Messed up.
You gotta tell them to stop working. Like you gotta tell them, like, you done. The day's over. They're not trying to figure out how to cut corners and on Instagram during lunch hours and make it like there's a real conversations. Americans lack work ethic. This is real shit, and this is why we're losing our spot in the world. Even countries like China, they're more disciplined. They're training their kids at a younger age. And how you do one thing is how you do everything. We've become a very comfortable society with low levels of discipline. This is why we have a high obesity level. This is why we have everything, right? Because
obesity, you brought up Monday, but alcohol, weed, food,
facts,
clothes. Facts. The same way the Native Americans got poisoned in that fashion with casinos and alcoholism, it's just permeated through the rest of our culture. So
facts. So, I mean, we got to start looking inward, and this is for all Americans. But I mean, we're talking to Black people, so you gotta be honest too. There's the problem with work ethic in the Black community that needs to improve. That needs to improve. Like that's just the fact. Like I've seen it firsthand. Give people opportunities, and they don't do shit. It's like, bro, like, what you want me to just give you the money? I'm not like, what you want? What do you want? Like an envelope full of money? Like this is an opportunity. You too cool. Like you don't want to look like a certain way. The look is not good enough for you, or you want to have no, not how it works.
Give them a little opportunity. No, I'm joking. But is that done by design, or is that done because I would argue our people are the hardest working people on the planet. But if I poison you with food and I take recycled plastic bottles and then I rework it and rebatch it and put into your Nike underwear, which leaches into your body, and then I get you to drink whatever alcohol and fast food, like, is it a dumbing down effect through the products that we're putting into our body?
Yeah, but at a certain point in time, what can you do, right? We know that, but I'm just saying you still gotta figure it out, right? Yeah. And it's disappointing because, like I said, it's just a variety of different things. How you do one thing, how you do everything. It's not just the work ethic of it. It's the same thing of you could give free information. You could do this. People's not going to come. If people give Jordans out, they're going to be waiting online for. No, we gotta have some real conversations. We could blame the government. We can blame, of course. We know farmer. We know all of that shit. But at one point in time, do we actually have responsibility for this shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's embarrassing, and it keeps happening. And like I said, it doesn't matter whether it's Drake and Kendrick Lamar, whether it's the Jordan releases, whether it's fucking whatever, right?
LeBron versus Jordan battle. It's like,
yeah, it's the same shit over and over again. And it's like, nah, man, like you got time to figure out the highest level of video. I never play video games. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like,
no Madden, NBA Jam. Nothing.
I'm not where I want to be in life. Fuck am I playing a video game for?
A wave release. So video games are PG pornography for men? Go ahead.
No, like I said, you could play. I'm not an extremist, but I'm just saying we got to think things through.
Yeah.
Bro, you trying to reach the highest level in fucking whatever it is.
Awesome.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like I'm trying to your kid is trying to figure out where the next meal is coming from. Like, that's real. That's real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't care about sneakers. I don't care about video games. I don't care about none of that shit. I'm trying to get rich, and then I'm trying to leave the country. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's my goal. Right. I don't care about none of that other shit, bro. That's just
how soon you trying to leave?
5 years. Okay. 5-year play.
Got you.
5-year play on the short end, 10-year play on the maximum on the long end. Pause.
They speed up this AI, maybe 2, ain't it?
That's a fact.
Hey, Patrick, I saw you in the studio. I said, yeah, book reading, but I'll see the other part. Get your voice down. Got you. Timbo, you and Drake ain't cool. Get us a synthesizer and make our voice. You got some free time. I'm sorry. Hey, you got to find ways to scale. Got to find ways, especially with this administration. I've screamed a lot of times about a lot of warnings. It is going to be rough, and costs are going to go up. And if you're not prepared, lo siento. We try it.
If you're not investing your money now, especially now, everybody talking about crypto and like, you know, it's like it's not even underground now. It's overly popularized to the point it's kind of even dangerous. But it's like, you're not investing your money now. You got to have some serious questions, because it's like, why would you not? Okay, I don't have enough money to invest. You could invest $50.
Yep.
Just do it. Just so you could actually just know how to do it. Like, you gotta if you're able to eat food and put clothes on yourself, you have enough money to invest. Yep. Right? Because it's like, okay, instead of having 12 pair of jeans, I have 11 pair of jeans. Instead of having 7 pair of sneakers, I have 6 pair of sneakers.
Yeah.
Instead of going out to eat 10 times a month, I go out to eat 8 times a month, and then I make my lunch the other 2 times. Like, you have money. Like this, there's no excuse at this point in time why you're not investing. I'm not saying that you have to have a multi-million-dollar portfolio, but like I said, you can invest $100. You can just invest $100.
Or you can give it to Sophie and let her make 48 million, which is crazy. 48 million for some B cups, crazy. Insane. What do I know? Y'all do what y'all want to do. I know this is part of our villain arc that y'all be talking about, but what can you do? What can you do? What are your top goals for the new year, and do you believe in New Year resolutions?
Yeah, I think New Year's resolutions is good. Of course, you know, you want to make a resolution, but you know, human beings need to like mark things. That's why we have a calendar, right?
Yeah,
and we can talk
it's
about
the wrong calendar, but yeah,
we can talk about that depending on how far you want to go down a rabbit hole. But
I'm ready. I'm ready. Our shit all backwards,
facts.
literally.
The Greeks and the Romans, and they, you know, we talk about that, what that really means. But we need structure in life. So to be able to actually place a date on something that's starting new, that's recognized as a new beginning, you know, I don't see anything wrong with it. My thing has always been, you're not going to finish it. That's the problem. You can start anything. Can you finish?
Yeah.
No. So just go watch the Dave Shands episode if you guys are interested. But I kind of talk about how to break things down into more micro goals. That's why I like the 1 month thing. Like, you try and change your life in one day at a time, right? Like let's conquer the day. That was a slogan: conquer the day. Conquer the day.
You say that all the time.
And if you win the day, you have a chance of winning the week. You have a chance of winning the month. Then you have a chance of winning the year. Then you have a chance. But it starts with the day. Win the day.
Yep. One little win. I tell them all the time in trading, get you a target that's so small that you can hit. It makes trading easy, so you can go on to the next day and do it again. Makes it simple, real smooth. So,
yeah, one day at a time. One day at a time.
Yeah. But you want to talk about the calendar thing, or you want to wait? Why did they reconstruct our calendar, and the real New Year's in the spring, and it's really 13 months? You know, if Keys were here, we'd turn it up. But it's like, ooh,
that's a fact. That's a fact.
When you go look at the money, in order to own a trademark or copyright, it can't be the exact thing from another culture. If I change it and modify the dates of when spring or New Year really is.
Or what if we, you know, they have these things like these alternate realities, right? You know, what if China actually does become the reserve currency of the world, and then does become standard of the world, and then does implement the Chinese New Year as the global New Year's?
When's the Chinese New Year?
It's in February, right?
Everything they do is not wrong. And God bless America and all that, but everything they're doing isn't wrong. But go ahead, keep going.
And what's even more interesting is, who are these months named after? Who are these months named after? That's do the Googles on that, and the days of the week.
Yes.
What does Sunday really mean?
Just going to the religion category. So
stay clear.
Just throwing a little warning. Ooh. We can't wake them up too fast, you know.
Did you see Gladiator?
No, I heard it wasn't that good, so I was like waiting to go.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
I did.
Did you like it? Okay.
I thought it was good. I'm not going to ruin the movie for anybody, but I thought a few things were just interesting from a historical standpoint, and you know, it's just crazy. And how nobody ever questions these things. The first scene of the movie, the Romans invade Nubia, I think, a town in Africa.
Okay.
And they invaded, and they go to war with the town in Africa. Now, what's interesting is that in that town in Africa, there was one black person.
In Africa?
Yeah.
So this is like the old Egyptian play that's happening now.
Right.
You got
so it's just really crazy, man, when you start to look at, just psychology, and nobody even questions these things, right? Where it's like you have a whole entire village that you're conquering in Africa, and the hero's white, of course. He's the general, he's the leader of the situation, but the one,
maybe he's in the house.
Huh?
Maybe he's just in the house.
Yeah. And then there's one black guy. in the whole thing. And it's interesting. That movie's pretty interesting. It's not Denzel's best movie.
Okay.
I don't think. And there was a lot of unrealistic things that happened in that the depiction of how it probably would have played out in real life. But it's just really interesting to see, like, you know, as far as like how Black people are represented or not represented just in everything in life.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
DI is just an open call for legal racism and get a lot of whitewashing in these movies and shows. And that's why I say everything about culture is not on the internet or in the movies or. But speaking of whitewashing, we had it with MGK. Then Post Malone got into rap, and then he left, and he's MAGA country. Jack Harlow was on stage singing a little diddly. When are we gonna stop letting artists that are not of the culture, Kendrick, this is where you come in and colonize the music to then escape to another genre of music and never look back? This is what I want Kendrick to do.
Or they do come. Machine Gun Kelly had to come back to rap.
It's not working.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. But
yeah,
you know, what can you do?
If you drink Megan Fox's blood and got to come back to rap, boy, you got to figure something out. You went too far with the little Satanist shit.
Well, that's why I appreciate Kendrick, because he's bringing it back to the essence of the shit. And for a long time, you had these rappers, and they was just they opened up the floodgates for this nonsense because they ain't care what they were saying. They was on drugs. They turned into rock themselves, right? Where it's just like you just kind of in a drunken high.
Well, if we're gonna be fair, Capo ushered in the rock wave.
Fashion, not
okay,
not just, you know what I'm saying, letting people just come in. Like, it wasn't an open, it was fashion. He ushered in the fashion for sure.
Yeah.
But these dudes ushered in the musical sound where there was no bar. There's no bar to be met. That's what I'm saying. So now it's like, damn, these white, they actually can rap. They better than you dudes. So now it's like, there's always been, like, Eminem's a dope rapper, right? There's always been white people in hip hop going back since the Beastie Boys, but they was really about hip hop. They didn't use it as a gimmick,
a stepping stone
to do something else. Like, Eminem was really, say what you want, it's been 25 years later and he's still rapping. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's really from culture. He's from Detroit. He came up from the battle circuit. Like, that's what it is. So I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of because even Jelly Roll used to be a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it might even be cultural influences too, where it's like you might listen to hip hop, but if your culture is country or your culture is rock, then it's easy for you to kind of, you know,
move in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to stop being used. I get the Drake takedown, but then to not call out everybody else who's on the same label, all the videos, and then go elsewhere. But I've always said we don't own hip hop or culture, so I don't think we have a culture. And I know y'all get mad when I say it, but I don't give a fuck. It's true. Y'all go look that board at UMG, Atlantic, Warner. It ain't many. They not like us. Shit, the owners of it not like us at all. We haven't owned hip hop in a long time.
What's your top? We haven't done this in a while. What's your top travel destinations? Or what cities? What's your top cities that you could live in outside of America?
The number one, I'm not listening because I don't want y'all to go. I'm gatekeeping. Number two, let's see, Mexico City, Ghana. I'm gonna give you all the places I'm not buying places in. Lake Como was amazing though.
But you could live in? Could you live in Lake Como?
Maybe 2-3 months out the year.
Okay.
Import export, but 2-3 months. Yeah. Outside of the states though, to Mexico City for sure, Ghana for sure. Paris I actually like Paris a lot. I don't know if I can live there full time.
Paris is a vibe.
Paris is a vibe.
Fast is the vibe.
What about you?
Well, in no particular order, I could definitely live in London. I like London a lot.
In the summer?
Well, New York is cold. You talking about the rain?
Yeah, the rain is.
It's one of these things. You gotta just figure it out.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
the reason why I like London is because it reminds me of like the old New York as far as like the energy. But it's
London,
dope because it's not like a bunch of skyscrapers, and it's kind of like a small, especially like the black population, like
Yeah.
So London's just a vibe. Like it's just a vibe.
London's a beautiful place.
And then you could get to a lot of different places in Europe from London. Like, so you can get to Paris quickly. You can get to Amsterdam. You can get to different places. So it's a good central place to be. And London is a shit. Like London is just the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I fuck with London.
I forgot about London, but yeah.
I could definitely live in London.
Great time.
Dubai for sure.
Oh,
Dubai. For sure. I mean, Dubai is just it's a great place to be, man. For all you people like, the city was built on slave labor.
All cities were. All major metropolitan cities were built on slave labor.
It's a fact. But
1790.
But it's an amazing place, man. They got everything there. It's like that shit it don't even seem real. Like Dubai don't even seem real. Like you gotta have some money, but you're gonna have a good time if you go to Dubai. Of course, Accra. I mean, that's a no-brainer as far as like, a different experience than like you're gonna get in those other places that I just named. But from a cultural standpoint, probably one of the safest places in Africa. So opportunity. I like the food in Ghana too. Like Ghana's, they're probably one of the best cities for food. Like they got, so especially the last time that we went to like Italian restaurants, Asian restaurants. Like they got every type of food. Like the food is really, really good. Toronto is a place that I like a lot.
Just cold.
It's cold. That's the summertime.
Summer only. Yeah,
that'd be the summertime play. But Toronto is another place, kind of like a clean New York.
New York.
New York. Once again, small type of vibe, so you can kind of, figure it out up there. Shout out to Daniel. Shout out to Tweed. Shout out to our guys up there.
Yeah.
Those will be my play, man. I gotta explore this South America thing a little bit more. I've been hearing people moving to Colombia.
Like crazy.
I've been hearing that play.
Yeah.
I know the Puerto Rico thing is something that, a lot of people have for tax purposes, but I don't know if I could live. I've only been to Puerto Rico one time. Yeah. I don't know. Mexico.
Let's not do that.
I gotta go to Mexico more, man. I know you like it out there. I gotta go to Mexico more, man. What do you like about Mexico? What do you like about Mexico?
It's peaceful. Like when you were a kid and you went to recess and you just felt like joy and happiness and freedom, not the heaviness and weight that comes with America. That's and you see it in the expat community that's growing in a bunch of the cities. Like even people going to Cabo now that were not there before. I was just in Tijuana a couple weeks ago. Like it's a lot freer. Cost from a financial standpoint, what I spend in groceries in Houston will be my groceries for 4 months in Mexico. So like when I was there with Xander and I got sick one weekend, doctor came, brought the medicine, 2-hour visit. With the medicine, the visit was $220. How did I did that in the States? $2,200 off top. The place 4 or 5 minutes from the beach. It's just it's like without all the heaviness, inflation, bullshit. Like, of course, you got cartel stuff there, but like, if you're not in that world, you're good. Shout out to them who look out. But I don't like when I see the police. I don't have a visceral reaction.
Do you ever get bored?
Never. People ask me like, you ever get bored at the beach? How? It's too much to do, too much to see. And plus, like, I'm more creative in those elements too. So whenever when I worked on Sniper, I did it out there. When I worked on Alpha, I did it out there. All InvestFest presentations, I did it out there. When I came up with the Fortix strategy, the NASDAQ strategy, it was all being in those. Like, we're not meant to sit in a box all day. And that's part of why our health is fucked up. Like, you don't hear people on these coastal or beach cities be like, I'm suffering from depression. Hard to be depressed when it's 92 degrees out, fucking 5 months out of the year, and you're like listening to the ocean. And then if you want to have some fun too, you know what I mean?
No, that's a fact.
Hard to be depressed.
That's a fact. You know, definitely. That's a fact. Sunshine definitely helps.
You need it.
You know, it plays a major part in your happiness.
Yeah. Then you find something to be a ray of light to you. You know what I mean?
But I do have to go back to Thailand. You been in Thailand?
No, I haven't been. I was supposed to go last year to a wedding and I wasn't able to make it. But yeah, I got 2 or 3 friends that's been living out there a couple of years.
Thailand, the vibe. Thailand is the vibe, man.
Bali too.
Bali, yeah.
Yeah, Russell Simmons play.
I like Thailand because it's like you got Bangkok, which is like a city, like New York City. Then you got Phuket, which is like a Miami on steroids. Like that place is crazy on the beach. Then you got Pattaya. You got a bunch of different vibes, like, you know, and it's a very diverse place too. People from all over the world in Thailand. But yeah, it's important to travel.
Cheaper.
Huh?
Cost of living is way cheaper though too.
It's a fact. It's important to travel because they say like your it actually like resets your brain almost on a certain level. Like, you know, it's like you gotta like travel. It helps you in life for sure.
And from a business standpoint, it allows you to be creative on a different level too. Like if you look at some of the innovations coming out of Japan and China, we're 7 or 8 years behind.
Well, that's one place I want to go to is Japan. I gotta go to Tokyo. I've never heard bad things about Tokyo.
Yeah,
about Japan. From Nas to 19 Keys to anybody that's went to Japan, I've never heard bad things about Japan.
Yeah, that's on my 2025 list for sure. So you got to travel, expand your horizons, and also too, like, I know there's a lot of talk about China still in our tech, but like a lot of the innovations that are happening worldwide, we don't have. Like if you just look at the airports internationally are better, more efficient, more free flowing, like better tech in them. Going back to that Doge conversation of government efficiencies, like so. But yeah, I felt my happiest being out of the country.
What's the worst place that what's the place that you've been to that you had the most forgettable experience?
Shit, out the country or in the States?
Out the country.
That is a good question. I can't say it because I don't want to offend the community, but it's you know what I mean? Yeah. No, I can't say it. But yes, I'm trying to go into Christmas smooth, bro. January, we can get back to it. Cool.
I mean, for me, it's not an indictment on the country. It's actually just we didn't plan the trip properly, but the Philippines that didn't live up to what I thought.
Your expectations?
No, it didn't. That didn't live up to the expectations at all. That was a different experience. Then Hong Kong was a little shaky for me.
Was it?
Yeah, that's the only place I ever
got to you.
That's the only place I ever experienced racism at like as like a foreigner. Like, you know, you travel most of the time. You're American. Like, you know, they're going to cater to you and it's love.
Yeah.
That's how I know the Chinese is different, bro.
That's why you don't like China. They press you. Come on. I don't have no Yakuza connect, so I can't help you. But that's why you hate China.
That's the only time where I felt like a foreigner. And now that actually gave me empathy. I understand how people coming to America could feel. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Absolutely. When it's like, I'm like, oh shit, I get it now. I understand.
Yeah.
Like, I got on a bus and they just speaking like Mandarin type shit. And I'm trying to like, they like, get off, like, yo, give me the money. Like what they're
That's
probably saying
is when they go to New York.
Huh?
That's how people feel when they go to New York.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Now I can understand. Now I can understand because I'm like, I felt uncomfortable. Everybody looking at you, they rushing, they looking at you like, yo, what the fuck? Like, figure this shit out, bro. Like, da.
Yeah.
And then I went into like a hotel thing, like a lobby. I went to some office building to ask for directions, and the dude was like, "Oh, get out." Because they're very racist over there, but from an African standpoint, because a lot of Africans just travel all over the world. So like, they look like if you black, they probably automatically assume that you're African, and they're just extremely racist. So if they knew I was an American, I probably would have got a little bit more leeway. But even that, they didn't even give a fuck about it, even being American. That's how I knew China was on some shit. Because every other place they cater to you. Like they speak English, even if it's broken English, they'll speak it. I went to this place to order food one time, and they wasn't even trying to hear no English shit. They like, I had to point like it was a picture book. I had to point. And then it was weird. I'm eating, and then somebody else is eating next to me. I don't know this person. Like it's like the cultural boundaries. They don't have cultural boundaries like that. So it's like I'm eating, and then somebody comes and sits next to me to eat at a table. But you know, in America,
culture though.
Yeah, but it's uncomfortable.
But you're in their country. Nobody bigger than the program. That's so, Xi Jinping. No, so hey, like, let him sit next to you.
Yo, yeah, Xi Jinping, man,
different.
I'm good on China. I'm good on China, man. After that experience, that was the only place in Asia that I didn't feel well. Even the Philippines, we just didn't have a great, but the people there is love. Like people there is is love. Like shout out to all my Filipinos. But Hong Kong,
different.
Yeah,
it's different. It's
different.
I'm trying to think of any of the places I've been that I didn't have a good time. No. Yeah, just that one, but I won't say. Tune in January, second episode.
The second episode in January. All right. All right. Anything else we need to touch on?
Why are people so engaged? Okay, who benefits most from this Jordan versus LeBron conversations? All the conversations that happen. Like I text you this, like, why do people give a fuck this much about Drake and Kendrick? Like, and then you were like, well, people like ignorant shit. Like, but like, will that ever change, or will these communities that don't care about us always have a stranglehold over our mindset?
No, it's never going to change. It's never going to change. The vast majority of people are sheep, and they're not supposed to lead themselves into the greatest realm possible. This goes back to, like I said, I was watching Gladiator. The whole the Rome built the Colosseum to keep people entertained.
Yeah,
right.
That's
bread and circus. So this goes back to ancient times. You know, you keep people occupied on shit that's really not important, and that's what the other people behind the scenes are getting filthy rich. It's an illusion. You just got to keep the people's attention. Because when you lose that, then when they start to focus on the wrong thing, that becomes dangerous. So you give them football, you give them basketball, you give them rap beef, you give them a whole bunch of dumb shit, and you just keep them entertained, and behind the scenes, you just get filthy rich. That's the name. That's how this world works. That's how this world works. 90% of the people will be occupied with dumb shit, while 9% of the people will be getting filthy rich. And then you got the 1% that's gonna like try to fight for human rights and shit like that. But other than that, man, it's which side of the playbook you gonna be on, man? You gonna be on the entertain side, or you gonna be on the side that's getting money? And that's all. At the high, those guys don't even care about nothing. Like these guys don't even care about nothing.
No emotion.
They don't care about nothing
whatsoever.
That's a fact.
It's interesting just going through that board list to see, like, okay, going back to your China experience. If Tencent, who doesn't give a fuck about black culture, they own majority of that, you don't think they have any say in some of that shit that's going on and how to sway? Also, UMG stock has moved $1 in the last 3 years. Like, it's a deeper conversation, but you know, what do I know? I know you told him not to, bring that girl to Thanksgiving. What about Christmas though?
No, I didn't say not to. I didn't say not to. I just said that it's not the end of the world if you don't.
Is it the end of the world if they make it to the Christmas dinner?
No.
What? If your girl don't make,
why? Explain why you think it's a big deal.
Okay, like she can't come, or if
no. I'm just saying. Like, why do you think it's a big deal that somebody has to be at Christmas dinner?
I don't think. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just using a hypothetical example. Like,
because some people may feel like if you're not invited to the holidays that matter most, you may not matter the most to them.
Yeah, that's American marketing. America does a great job of marketing.
Talk about capitalism every month.
That's it. Because if you think about it, every day is Thanksgiving, like you should be thankful every day. You should get together with your family. So my thing is like, if we're in a relationship now, if we're in a relationship and you've never met that could be a red flag. Like, yo, why I never met your friends. But my thing is like, if you're around my friends all the time, you've been around my family, you've been like what does one day have to change this? Like, if I'd never done this for 365 days, that's when you should be alarmed. Like, damn, I've been with you for 2 years. I don't know your friends. I've never been around any of your family members. I've never seen your brother, your sister. Like this,
your macaroni.
That's concerning to me. But you want to blow this whole thing over one day, one holiday? No.
I fuck with you, yo. My lord. So no matching pajamas, huh? Okay, cool. College, you gotta learn to stay away from the clout demons. We're gonna talk about this holiday. If you got a long list, red flag number 1. Red flag number 2, she got too many photo shoot ideas for Christmas.
Facts.
If they take too many pictures when you go out to eat and on dates with them and they don't get no reels of you, gotta go. Hey, what do I know? What do I know? That's crazy. Shout out to everybody who won't be at Christmas dinner. No mac and cheese for you. No Home Alone 2 for you.
Home Alone 2.
You already seen Home Alone. Hey, it's about the kids, see? It's not even the kids. It's about the kids.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, to my friends and family who I love dearly from the bottom of my heart, I don't mind if you ever request. I'm just letting you know if Xander don't have the best and grandest of gifts from you, when you message me January 2nd about your lights being cut off, you're going to be in the motherfucking dark. Or the blackout. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to FaceTime you while you sit in the dark and turn these lights up extra bright. We got to talk about it, yo. At some point, I don't mind helping, but you got to help the one I love the most. The ratio of asking versus giving back.
Well, you know what happened? What happened with I don't celebrate Christmas, but sometimes I go over like my aunt's house sometimes, and for a long time, we would get gifts. It's one of these things where everybody gets a gift for each other,
Yeah.
But then it became kind of as you get older, it becomes kind of like a burden because it's like I don't. How many sweaters can you buy? How many, so it's like, we just decide to like, just nobody gets gifts except for like little children. Like, but it's like at a certain point, it's just like, it's not even real. Cause I was like, I got to buy you something so you could buy me something. They kind of equal each other out, but I don't even really might even be financially able to really get you something. It's just kind of like a burden at this point. Right. So it's just like, let's just enjoy time, have family, but we're not doing gifts. Yeah. That's an option too.
Well, friends and family or significant other?
Everybody involved. If it's mutually understood, like if it's communicated, like, yo, look, you know what I'm saying? Like, like we're not going to do no gifts. Like you can still do whatever you want to do, whatever, but from a financial standpoint, it just don't make sense. I don't have enough money to buy a PlayStation for this person and then give you, your Van Cleef bracelet and then give him a North Face coat. Like I can't do that financially. It's going to cause a burden on me. I still want to get together with my family. I still love you guys, but
just skip it.
Yeah, let's just skip giving gifts because it is a lot of pressure, right? Because if I give you a great gift and you give me a bullshit gift, I'm gonna feel a certain way or vice versa. So it's just like, yo, let's stop. Yeah. Let's stop. Because a gift shouldn't even be reciprocal. Like a gift should just be like, yo, it's not for me. What I'm saying is that people give gifts so they can get a gift back. And that's dangerous. That's dangerous, right? Because it's like now you got to try to match up the level. I got to figure out how much money you're going to spend on me so I can spend the same amount on you so I don't look like I'm cheap. And it becomes like a full-time job trying to figure this shit out. That's why they start Christmas shopping so early, because it's like you got niece, nephew, your kid, your mom, your girl. By the time you figure this whole thing out, it's 50 different gifts for 50 different people, different price points, different meanings, different sentimental values that's put on each gifts. It's just like.
So you just don't fuck the holidays, period, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Okay. I'm with you.
Correct.
Because
every day's a holiday.
And treat me as such.
Fact.
And treat me as such. And all my stardom. I know, baby, I know you put that little star on top of the tree, but I'm the star. You know what I mean? Star rough.
365. Every
single day. Treat it as such.
If we play this right, if we play this right, every day Sunday, every day is Saturday, every day is the weekend, every day is, you know what I'm saying?
Presents flowing bountifully, ain't it?
Traveling, moving across the world.
Yeah.
Lobster.
Hey. For breakfast on that. Wake up. Hey, bring it right through with some eggs. Hey, fellas, it's Mercury retrograde. So all the work you lost this past year and things are tight in the economy right now, all them I miss you texts really don't mean I miss you.
Mercury retrograde.
Mercury retrograde to December 15th. Don't sign no contracts. Don't make no love under the moon. You know what I mean? Hey, be careful.
Please.
Yeah. And some of y'all need to abstain too. Them toxic relationships you in, you being bound by your lower self.
And the demons are, that's a fact.
Yeah. Because if she got 700 demons inside of her.
The demon play.
Hey, boy.
Watch yourself.
You drink enough holy water to get it out of you. Man, I can't get over it. I bet you can't. That brujeria shit worked on you.
You gotta go to Honduras, Dr. Sabi's.
For real. Sage you off for a week, my boy.
That's a fact. Incense.
Smoke cooker.
All right.
Yep.
It's been real.
Love y'all. We'll put in chat what y'all want us to talk about next week with conversations and yeah. Oh, if y'all gonna be in Miami, you have any recommendations for them? An after spot, a dinner spot after they get the networking? Give them one you won't be at too. Security protocol.
Vitally important.
Yeah.
Vitally important.
Sparrow, not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chipotle on Brickell, right by the Burger King. The Brickell. Go to the mall. Hey, first
things
you can go out.
You gotta figure out on your look. I know we're the guys that give you the blueprint. We tell you, but some things in life
you gotta figure out on your own. Fellas, that's your intro too. Hey, I'm new here. What restaurant should I go to? right in the middle of the friend group.
That's a
break
fact.
that shit up. Like connect for.
That's a fact.
I ain't from around here. What was a good place to eat at and club to go to? Oh my gosh, you're so fine, boy. What do I know?
All right.
Love y'all.
Love.